Hi, I'm Miranda from Weta Marine, and today we're going to go through tacking on the Weta. First things first, I want to make sure that the boat is all nice and tidy. So I'm going to attach my end of my main sheet to my jib sheets. I do this really simply. I just do a figure 8, and then I take the sheet and I loop it around, if I can get there, and pull tight. This way, whenever I want the jib sheets, I can just go down the main sheet till I find them. I also want to make sure that the Jenica sheet is above the main and the jib sheet. So the key points to a perfect tack. We're going to go through the technique, so what I actually do in what order, the steering, the sail trim and the body trim. It'd be good to note that the technique is just something that Chris has perfected over the years and that he taught me before we did this session. For the technique, first up, hop up on the rail and cleat the main. Be good to note that at this point I probably should throw the sheets to the other side, but I slide in and then I throw the sheets. This is so that they're easy to pick up later. Next thing I do is go for the jib. I uncleat it before I go through the eye of the wind so that it doesn't backwind, and cleat it on again as quickly as possible. Once it's cleated, then I swap sides and get up to the windward side nice and quickly. I'm facing forwards through the tack for two reasons. Firstly, so that I can see what angle I'm coming out on, and secondly, so that I can orient myself around the safety harness and not get tangled up in it. Now, looking at the steering. It's important to steer in a smooth and consistent arc through the tack. Just like this. And then you want to get practice so that you can come out on the same angle every time. So we look at this in super slow-mo. As I come in, I do my best to keep the tiller still while my body is moving around the boat. Although I'm not perfect at this, and it is a bit of an art. However, lots of practice would get you there. Now you can see that I keep the tiller on the same angle through the tack. And then, as soon as the jib's cleated, I come down to that angle and I work on swapping sides. You can see as I got out that there was a little bit too much tiller movement. And there I am, bringing the boat up to the woolies. This clip is cool because it shows why it's a good idea to tack facing forwards and to stay on the same side of the boat until you've cleated the jib. You can see here that I can see the jib and I can see the correct angle to steer on coming out of the tack. Then, as I'm facing forwards, I can double check my angle and make sure that my steering is good. This is a bit easier than tacking backwards and requires a bit less feel than tacking backwards. Now we're going to go through the sail trim in the tack. So I cleat the main and slide in. You'll see that I uncleat the jib and I want to make sure that I don't backwind the jib. Then I pull it on the new side as quickly as possible. I pull the jib in about 90 to 100%, unless it's very light. Then I get up on the rail and adjust the sails from there. Keen eyes would have noticed that I eased a bit of main as I cleated it. This is because I want more acceleration out of the tack. But if I was double-handed, I would pull on the main going into the tack and then let it out after I'd gone through the eye of the wind. So now you can check it out in real time again. The reason that I don't backwind the jib is because the boat tacks easily enough without it, and it would create more drag and push the bow down too far if I did backwind it. So let's talk about the body position through the tack. You can see that the hulls produce some drag when you're too far out the wrong side. So this is all about how to minimise that drag for most speed. The Weta is super forgiving, so it will let you tack in any old way, but we're going to focus on the fastest way to tack. Here I come, coming in, and you can see that the hull here is almost submerged. This is pretty slow. I want to avoid that, and then we go through the tack, doing the jib, And you can see on the new leeward side that again the hull is almost submerged. When I do my tack, I want to make sure that I avoid this. I can do it by sitting further forward and also by coming in and out more quickly. This is a cool shot because it shows the drag behind the hulls as the white water that you can see. How am I going to fix this extra drag? I don't move that slowly around the boat. So, first things first, I should throw the sheets over before I come down to the middle, so that as I come into the middle, I can start steering up. And then, as I come through the tack, I could cleat the jib and stand up and move at the same time. I have a bit too much pause in the middle there. Also, I could tack sitting further forwards, which would make a big difference. So what are the summary points? Focus on steering and steering a smooth arc through the tack. Don't change sides until the boat has been tacked, and throw the sheets to the leeward side before you slide into the middle of the boat, or at least before you tack, so that they're ready and waiting for you after the tack. Thanks for watching our video about tacking. This is what Chris does and what he taught me before we did this video. But if you have different ideas or think you can do it better, we'd love to hear from you. For more about the Weta, check out wetamarine.com.